Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back into the UIM. In this series, we try to get ranked on the boss high scores using the Colossal Blade. Last episode, we kept the motivation up and finished a good few more quests. This episode sees some more of the quests done, but mostly we make some nice account upgrades and make some GP in preparation for long overdue training. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy.
Our first successfully grown oak. There, I'll get that XP. And then you can pay to have your tree chopped down very quickly. Like that. And then you can pay for your stuff. And on to the next. Okay, now that we have planted our trees, the plan is to head to Korend and continue knocking out some quests there. So there's a quest that just came out called the Garden of Death, which will give us a bunch of farming XP. And it will put us over 30, which means that I'm going to drop the rest of these acorns because we will then be able to plant our willow seeds and our willow trees instead. That is Client of Karen completed. Okay, we are in Arceus Library right now, looking for some books to gain some favor. And one of the books that you want to find is the Transportation Incantations book, because once you read that, we already read it and there's no chat box thing to show, but that you have to find this book to unlock the teleport to Korend. So, that spell. So, don't need that anymore, but we got the spell unlocked. The other thing that we got at the end of Client of Korend was this Korend Favor Certificate, and the wiki recommends you put it into Piscarilius. So that is what we're going to do. And that gives you 20% Port Piscarilius favor. All of the books that we earn here, we're going to be putting into Runecraft XP as well, because we do not need the magic XP. It'd be nice to get 55 for High Elk, and I know that we've talked a lot about going to the Mage Training Arena and haven't done that yet, but that is still probably the plan. We got a little carried away and are now at 70% favor. 60 is what's needed for the spellbook, but I just wasn't paying attention, and now we're at 72, so we might as well go to 90 so that we can get 100 when we complete the quest. That's our last book, and we have 90% favor. While we're around here in Arceus as well, we are going to pay 80k to unlock the fairy ring here. It's a really good thing that we paid for this fairy ring, because we are already going to use it in the Ascent of Arceus quest. Ascent of Arceus completed. So we can use the page here. Oh, it's 17 Hunter. We can use our page here on the memoirs, and it unlocks a teleport to Arceus there. And then if we read our favor certificate, we have our 100% favor. This is actually the first time that I've ever been on this mountain with any account, because I have done no Chambers of Xeric on my main either. Something important that I have gathered is talking to the mountain guide, because I think that he will take us back. Whoops. I think that he'll take us back here if we want him to, now that we talked to him. All right, we completed Tale of the Righteous. Now we are going to finish up the Garden of Death, which we started while we were over by the mountain for Chambers of Xeric. Okay, we got Garden of Death done. It's a new quest. Gave us 10,000 farming XP. So interesting. I'll keep trying to translate those, is what that said. And then 32 farming, which is nice. Oh, we can grow Renars. As long as we're 30, that's all I wanted, so that we could do willow trees. So we have now completed, I think we completed the Arceus and the Shazian quests. We don't have the mining level to mine in the sulfur mine, you need 42, and we have 38 for the first 20% of Lovacaine, or however you pronounce that favor. So we can't start that one yet. And before we do the Hosidius and Piscarilius quests, now that I got the Arceus favor, I want to actually go plant. I want to actually go to Ali Morrisane and get some runes for teleports in the house. So we're going to go do that right now. Okay, as it turns out, we did not have enough money to buy the runes that we need. So we are going to split our time between rune crafting at Guardians of the Rift and the Agility Pyramid. Okay, here we are at the GE. We have completely liquidated the mains bank account, and we're going to be trading it to our buddy Percival here. Say hi, Percival.
Hey, YouTube.
This 200 mil, it's not, for a main, it's nothing crazy, but it will go towards funding some gear, because Percival will be the one to carry Dr. BigSword through the raids once we get to those. So we will be funding some new equipment.
Yeah, I need all the money that I can get to make up for my general lack of skill in the game. So this will be wonderful.
So while I was running some Guardians of the Rift, I came to a somewhat disappointing realization, which is that we are going to not need any of our 300 soul runes for our teleports. Just because I was buying runes based on what the wiki suggested, and I realized that some of those I don't really care about, and I'd rather put other teleports in for myself in the house that I would, just prefer, because I think it mainly centers around the fact that I'm not going to, what is going on? Oh, I don't have any gold. Oh no. I think it centers around the fact that I plan on always keeping the Draymond staff on me. And so because of that, wow, I needed 3 water runes. That's awesome. Because of that, there's a lot of fairy rings that are close to some of the teleports that are suggested, so I won't be using those. I'll be using the fairy ring, or the fairy rings instead. So we are going to go sell back all of our soul runes, which is sad because we spent a lot of money on that. Yeah, it's pretty sad to have to sell back all of the runes because you sell them for 150 and we had to buy them for 375. But it just is what it is. So the plan currently is to head to the Agility Pyramid, grab ourselves 100k so that we can get another portal chamber in the house, fill that up with the teleports that we want using the runes that we have, and then we will go from there. 64 agility. Didn't really know if we were going to get that or not. I just wanted to go until the end of the inventory here, so we have enough GP for what we want to do and build our portal chamber. And yep, on our last trip here at the Agility Pyramid, we got a mystery box from the quiz show. So we'll see if we get the stale baguette. A medium clue. Interesting. Cool. We'll do that when we leave. All right, the first thing we did was we left the Agility Pyramid, teleported to Soul Wars because we were going to take the tree by the Grand Exchange to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. And we can't do this one. While we're here putting our stuff back in the Tool Leprechaun, we could check the health of our oak tree, which I guess we can do. I'm not going to get rid of it though, because then I'm going to have to get rid of the weeds. Okay, we got our fire runes, which should be the last thing we need for our teleports. Okay, we did just a little bit of rearranging, so we have our pet house right here, and we opened up a spot here for the new portal chamber. So we will spend our money on that. Oh, I forgot that I need limestone bricks for the centerpiece. Okay, we'll go get those. The best place to go for limestone that I know of is, if you actually remember, to episode 2, I think, where we were next to the mine by the temple to the east here of Rock. That is where you can mine limestone, and then you just have to chisel it into bricks. We actually also have to go to Castle Wars for the teak logs that we will be turning into planks for the portal frames. So just a little update on the plan of what we are going to be doing in the short term. We are still going to be doing Guardians of the Rift and doing Agility Pyramid for money, but what we are also going to do is finally prioritize going to the Mage Training Arena and getting 55 magic. I know I've talked about it for probably like 2 episodes straight at this point, but what we're going to do is actually go there to get 55 magic so that we can high alch. Oh, I need a saw and hammer. So that we can high alch, and then we can get some rune arrows from Last Man Standing and start training our magic. I don't know why, but doing things like this is just so fun in an Ultimate Ironman, because I would never be making all these portal rooms in a regular account. It's just, there's something satisfying about it. So I'm trying to keep the rooms organized by spellbook a little bit for myself to keep it simple. So we're actually going to need to empty these. And then we will put the third teleport for here as Ardoin. And I realized that I think I've been pronouncing that wrong all this time. It is Ardoin. I think I've called it Ardujane for way too long. So we're doing Ardoin. We are doing the Battlefront teleport. Then the Draenor Manor teleport, because that will be a big one. And I miscalculated somewhere, because we need 14 more law runes to do... Oh no, we're saving the other one. We're saving this one for Barrows. That's right. We're leaving this one open for Barrows when we get 83 magic. Perfect. Oh, look at all the portals. They're so cool. They're all different colors. That's pretty fun. So for a while now, I've also wondered what I was going to be doing with my Chaos runes, because I really didn't think that I really needed to train magic with combat, and I found out that you can sell them to... I could just sell them to Ali in Al-Kharid, and I'll have to check the prices, but that may just end up being what we do with our catalytic runes that we make there. One thing that we're also going to do from time to time is we are going to start barbarian fishing. We need 48 fishing for that to start the training, but then we unlock the super AFK method of barbarian fishing, which gets you passive strength and agility and mostly fishing XP. So I need something that's a little bit AFK to do, so we're going to unlock that. The last time I recorded a clip on the pyramid, I believe we were 64 agility, and I have another computer that's a laptop that I can't record on, so when I do stuff that's kind of like mindless or AFK, I do it on there. So sometimes I'll have to skip a couple levels here and there. So now we went from 64 to 66, and I have decided that we are going to go AFK fishing until we get to 48 so that we can start barbarian fishing. Also, as you can see in the inventory, we got camo bottoms while I was not recording, and we're up to a decent cash stack already. There's another thing that I should mention as well, which is I did some calculations while I was running around the pyramid, and the wiki talks about going for 91 thieving by blackjacking to get money, and I'm sure that there's some reason that that's more macro efficient than doing agility, but I did a calculation, and for the same amount of time, so here's the thing, to get to 91 thieving, it would take 27 hours, and we would make, I think it was 5.2 mil from our, from 45 when we could start blackjacking, you make about 5.2 mil. And if I did the agility pyramid for the same amount of time, I would get to 77 agility and I would get over 6 mil. It's like 6.5 or something like that. So I don't actually really see a reason right now why we would go blackjacking, even though that was sort of my plan. I don't think there's really a reason to do that. So we might just stick to the agility pyramid for our money making.
Okay, that's where we're going to wrap up episode 11. Speaking from the present day, putting in those portals is going to be one of the most useful things that we do to date. I'm so happy to be able to show the progress that this account makes because I really do love even the little things like that we get accomplished. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope I get to see you back next week. Thank you.